Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're having a great day as always. So something I wanted to talk about is actually this very interesting article on Alien vs Predator Galaxy about some leaked information about the upcoming new Predator film called Predator Badlands. So there are actually two films rumoured to be in production. The first one here, is Predator Badlands, which is another movie separate from Prey, directed by Dan Trachtenberg again. And then the second one that is supposedly being rumoured to be in production alongside Predator Badlands is another film which is supposedly a direct continuation of Prey, but that I believe is written and directed by somebody else. So if we take a look at the article here, it reads Predator Badlands filming in New Zealand, story synopsis and lead character spoilers. The first major details about the upcoming Predator Badlands film have been indirectly leaked. A casting call page has published details regarding the story about a mystery film codenamed Backpack currently filming in New Zealand. The page mentions the studio is 20th Century Studios, the director is Dan Trachtenberg, and Badlands is also listed on there. It's a pretty solid confirmation that this is indeed the new Predator film, Predator Badlands. We have the first synopsis of the film as well as details about the two lead characters. The story in Predator Badlands features two storylines that deal with the bond between two sisters whose relationship is put to the test as they go on different paths. The synopsis is a groundbreaking film in which one of the two main storylines delves into the intricate bond of two very different sisters. Their familial ties are put to the ultimate test as they pursue divergent paths and missions. The page mentions a casting call for the lead actress to play two sisters called Thea and Tessa. The actress would be in her mid-20s to mid-40s. Thea has spent most of her time in a laboratory and is going on her first big adventure in the world. Her sister is called Tessa and has a militant intensity when it comes to completing her goals and objectives. Thea/Tessa. This casting is for a dual character and describes both characters. Character identifies as female or non-binary. Open ethnicity, mid-20s to mid-40s. Thea has spent most of her life in a laboratory and is now embarking on her first big adventure in the world. She is incredibly smart, witty, enthusiastic and unflappable. She has an innate disregard for danger, not because she's fearless, but simply because she's naive. Strong comedy chops required. The other sister, Tessa, has a militant intensity when it comes to achieving her family's goals and mission objectives. She will not let anything get in her way, not even her twin sister. The casting call also mentions they are in New Zealand between June and September 2024, so that's just gone now, isn't it? That's like right now. It says the lead actress must be 5'8" or shorter, must be comfortable training for heavy action as well as wearing prosthetics, heavy makeup. After doing some digging, an article on the NZ Herald mentions in July that an American movie was being filmed in Rotorua. Production then moved on to filming in Te Kuiti, I think that says. Production was then said to be heading to South Head next, the peninsula just north of Helensville. Another article on NZ Herald also posted 3 set pictures of a big Hollywood movie filming in Hamurana Springs in Rotorua. Chances are this was also Predator Badlands. So let's take a look at these pictures. Forests, and there's the it says catering, so it'll just be all the filming vehicles. Pond with loads of ducks and stuff. Let's see. The next one. Oh yeah, just the crew vehicles, security guards. Mm. Um, so it looks like it's going to have a setting in the forest, probably similar to Prey. I wonder if that means the movie itself is actually going to be set in New Zealand, or whether they're just using it for filming, because I believe Prey was actually filmed in Canada, but in the movie it was set in America. So I wonder if this is the same kind of deal. Oh, there's a little bit more here. Predator Badlands was announced along with Prey 2 back in February. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. There's this film which is separate from Prey, but then they're also making a direct continuation of Prey. I don't know if it'd be called Prey 2 or whether they come up with like a different name for it. Back in February, with Dan Trachtenberg returning to direct. He would be developing the story with Patrick Asen, who was also writing the screenplay. The only thing we knew back then was the film would be set in the future. Then back in June, it was reported that Elle Fanning was in talks for the lead role. Things have definitely progressed since then, with filming already underway in New Zealand. So yeah, let's go back through it and we'll analyse some of these details. Let's see. Yeah, we've got 20th Century Studios and Dan Trachtenberg again. It might not necessarily be called Predator Badlands, because with Prey, that had a working title that was called Skulls, wasn't it? But it ended up having a different name, so it may not be called Predator Badlands when it actually comes out. Oh yeah, this plot synopsis. Two lead characters. So what I think this actually reminds me of is, if you remember in Alien Covenant, when there was David and Walter, the two synthetics, but they were both played by the same actor, weren't they? I think this is that sort of same sort of thing that they're going to be doing here, it sounds like. It was it's about bond between two sisters, so I hope it's not going to be too obnoxious in that way. Like, we don't really care about, a bond between two sisters in a Predator movie, do we? We want to see the Predator doing cool stuff, so hopefully it's not too obnoxious and boring about that. Let's see, what else was it? Yeah, one was spend most of their life in a laboratory, and it says sister has a militant intensity when it comes to completing their goals and objectives. So it sounds like one's going to be very sort of green essentially and doesn't have much life experience, but the other one seems to be a bit more experienced with like the outside world. It says a militant intensity, so that doesn't necessarily mean like in the military or ex-military. What militant means is just like, you're really sort of like in your face and passionate about something. So I hope they don't make it too sort of like girl boss cringe, if you follow me. Something else here, if you're worried about the film possibly being woke in some way as well, it says here, look, character identifies as female or non-binary, quote unquote. But what I think that is just, they just mean a female, don't they, basically, but they're just scared of not looking PC enough, are they? So they just phrase it like that, but it just means it's going to be two women as the character. Oh, something else as well is strong comedy chops required, which worries me. Nowadays, that means just unbearable Marvel cringe, doesn't it? Really. So I don't like the sound of that. So far, I don't really mind. Two sisters, it doesn't really appeal to me, but strong comedy chops, I don't like the sound of that, if I'm honest. So we're going to have like a cringe, quirky one, and then the other character be like really obnoxious and in your face, because it says militant intensity a lot, doesn't it? And she'll not let get anything in her way, not even her twin sister. So I hope we don't get like a quirky like Marvel character and then an obnoxious like cringe girl boss. Is what I hope they don't end up doing. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because people were worried Prey would be like that, weren't they? But it didn't turn out that bad, really, in that way. Just, I think the only real thing that made me cringe in Prey was, like, do you remember right at the end when she's, like, killed the Predator and then there's that little girl looking at her and she turns and smiles at her. So it's like, oh, you can do it too. As well, I heard this film was going to have a futuristic setting, which I was kind of hoping for like a Predator movie, but with an alien-ish kind of setting, which is what I would probably like to see, like a Predator movie in the future in space. But here it just looks like it's going to be Earth, because look, it's just like a normal looking forest, isn't it? So, I wouldn't say I'm disappointed yet, but it looks like it is just going to be sort of a standard Predator setting, doesn't it? Like a forest and stuff, which we've seen a lot before. I'd like to see something a bit different. So yeah, that was just some of my thoughts. I'm not going to write it off straight away because this isn't that much information, is it? And we don't really have any visual stuff to look at. There's no like real on-set photos or anything tangible to really look at, so I'm not just saying it sounds rubbish from the reading this one article, because this is only a very, very vague bit of information, really. So I will be covering the news on this new Predator film as we get closer to it in the coming months, so make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss updates from me. Thanks for watching the video, give it a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.